Hello! This week's Colossus bets has started offering Finnish Veikkausliiga as a part of their Pick 5 products. Jorma, you've been following Finnish football since 70s, so this must be pretty good news.
Yeah, of course, it's an enjoyment to watch those games already as a soccer fan, but even for professional reasons as a sports betting investor, it's really great news because the foreign sports bettors can't, of course, follow the Finnish soccer as focused as we do, and I think we can find really good value bets for the Colossus Pick 5 because we have, of course, the normal knowledge, mathematical research, experience, computer models, artificial intelligence, which works for us and our syndicate members in all the leagues around the world, all the sports. But here we get an extra advantage because we know the teams.
Exactly, so actually tonight there's a good example of that, as in the Pick 5 that starts 8 p.m. British time, 10 p.m. Finnish time. There's a football match, HIFK against Mariehamn, played in Veikkausliiga. You've got an idea for that?
Yeah, and actually I think you got an idea as well because you know Helsingin EFK pretty well. And that particular game is a perfect example of the advantage we will get this summer. Because the league table, as you know, doesn't tell the truth between Mariehamn and HIFK. You can tell a bit more about the Helsinki team soon, but to start with, Mariehamn has been very lucky this season. Last season, Mariehamn was a disappointment. We were expected to be somewhere around mid-table, and they found themselves finally in the relegation battle. But last year, they're pretty unlucky with their shots against the goals ratio. And I expected them, of course, to be more normal this season, and I actually backed them to win against HJK Helsinki. They were 8-1 shots to win the game outright here in the first round of the season. Mariehamn led the game, I think, 15 minutes before the final whistle. They finally lost 2-1. They won with Asian handicap, no problem. But they overperformed in that game. They have overperformed all the first half dozen games we have played. And the reason is I don't want to take anything off Mariehamn. As I said, they are better than last season. But we have scored 30% of their shots. Yeah. And I'm ready to bet that at the end of the season, they have scored 13% of their shots instead of 30. That kind of figures can't be kind of sustained. And so I have all reasons to believe that the betting market will overestimate the scoring ability of Mariehamn and even their playing power against EFK Helsinki. But you know Helsinki team pretty well. So to start with, you traveled 1,000 kilometers to Rovaniemi, northern Finland, to see HIFK to play away at last season's silver medal team ROPS Rovaniemi. So what kind of impression did you get from that game?
First of all, HIFK was kind of a black horse this season. They have had basically completely new team. They have a new head coach. They have 2 to 3 main key players from last year staying, and everything else is brand new. They were expected to be a very bad team, the biggest relegation candidate. But actually, the new signings have been surprisingly good, especially in the defense. So that is something I'm kind of looking forward in this matchup, is that there is the overrated offense of Mariehamn, which has scored 13 goals in 5 matches, and then there is the underrated defense of HIFK. So I would expect the HIFK wins to be very, very underbet in Colossus.
Yeah, that's what we have actually done. All my syndicates in Pick 5 go with either the draw or HIFK win, because, as Henrik said, the defense is much stronger than the general public thinks. And please tell me something more of those 2 good new central defenders and the new goalkeeper.
There are 2 quite experienced boys from the Finnish teams in the central defense, and there is the
Patronen, he's former HIFK player.
Yeah, he did, and the goalkeeper from Kenya is an experienced one. The Origi is actually the cousin of the Origi who plays for Liverpool.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
And I think they are kind of experienced heart of the defense, and they've been. It's been showing that they know what they're doing. They're not that kind of anxious about anything.
Yeah. So that sounds that people who bet fixed odds and Asian handicaps in addition to the Colossus bets pools, they might find value in the unders between HIFK and Mariehamn.
Definitely.
And that could be pretty good idea even from now on. Okay, occasionally the betting markets reacts very, very violently when we start seeing the low scores of the next game. So this idea might lose some of its profitability depending on the next results. But do you think that in general the market might bet too high scores in HIFK games?
Definitely, and definitely too high scores for the Mariehamn games.
Yeah, yeah. Please, you know HIFK Helsinki pretty well, and I understood that even their fans might be the most supportive, loyal, and kind of even in the away games behind their team. Can you tell something about Stadin Kingit, the fan club of IFK Helsinki?
The home field advantage is pretty good for IFK. Quite unique in Finland. They play in artificial turf, which is quite common in Finland, but not every team plays on that. So that must be a factor as well.
Yeah, yeah. They are pretty loady. What about give some description of even the midfield and the strikers of HIFK, because you know the team well.
The midfield has been a lot better on defense than on offense this year, and it's still quite hard to say about the offense, as they have not had that many chances. So it's either just bad luck that they haven't scored that much, or then they are just bad finishers. But we'll see.
Yeah, and to avoid misunderstandings, HIFK was rated rock bottom for this season in all the preseason texts in the media, and they are very limited team when it goes to the player salaries. So we do not claim that the team would be very high up in the league. It's even a good question which one is the biggest relegation favorite even after first couple of games, because the KHPV Kokkola has been very unlucky. They are a limited team as well, but they would have deserved more than 1 point so far, and especially more goals. So my final verdict is that HIFK is likely better than the market expects, and I believe that whatever is under overbet in the fixed odds market or in the Finnish Veikkaus pools betting is exaggerated in the Colossus bets, because the bettors there are mainly not Finns and not that sophisticated. They bet mostly according to the league table. So these are my final statements, which I believe can help you in your sports betting with the Colossus bets pools, which to start with give very good value for a punter because the paybacks are high, there are guarantees, there are rollovers. So what is your final statement?
I'm gonna back Helsinki on that much.
And under.
And under, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. The dice is cast. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and you can expect some more Finnish tips this year.